So, good morning, welcome to Skadi Yoga. So, let's start with sitting on both sitting bones just to remember where the sitting bones are. And then stretch yourself, close your eyes, roll your shoulders backwards and down. Important is that your hip, shoulder, and ear are in one line. So most people have the head too much forward, shoulders much too forwards. So roll the shoulders backwards and down and bringing the chin slightly in. Think about the chicken, like talk, talk. So bring it a little bit in. And then try to relax. Bring your hands together in front of the heart. And just remember the basic stuff, what's important while you're doing your practice, but also when you start, like the place where you are. You have a place where you are protected from rain and wind and cold. You can do yoga. Then remember that you're living in this time, so respect and have gratitude for the time where we're living in. And then also respect and gratitude for yourself, who you are, no matter what. But then also remember that we need everything what's around us. We need the air to breathe, the food to eat. We need nature. We need planet Earth. We need all beings on it. So respect and gratitude for everything what's around you. And as last, respect and gratitude for all the wisdom and knowledge passed by many gurus, teachers, masters, yoginis. So from that, open your eyes and we start with the butterfly. If you want to work a little bit more in the hips, then bring your heels closer in. If you want to have a little bit more relaxed hip and just focus on the upper body, just bring your feet a little bit further away. So I like to have my feet a little bit in. That feels for me a little bit safer for my knee. And then start with the chin down. So the focus today is the upper body and the shoulders and arms. So it starts already here. So if you feel a stretch there, just stay there. And maybe when it's getting less the stretch, then go deeper down. See how far it's comfortable. And then you just stay. Like if it's your first Yin Yoga class, important is that you are relaxing. So if you are not relaxing, like maybe example the hips, you can also use some props for under your knees or bringing your feet more forwards. So make yourself comfortable while you feel a stretch in the target area. So the target area today is shoulders, shoulder wriggle, neck, upper body. So there we want to stretch. But never have a sharp shooting pain. Just feel a deep, intense stretch that can be sometimes very painful. But make sure it's in the length of the target area and not only in one joint. And sometimes in poses you feel maybe just compression somewhere. Probably here not so much compression, more stretch in the neck area, back side. And then that's the first step, to make sure you are comfortable in a deep stretch and completely relaxed. If you feel that you have to work too much, see if you can support the body more, to relax more deeper in this stretch. And the second step is that you stay still, like a meditation, just observing the body, observing the heart and mind. How are you doing? And learning to stay, not reacting on what you're feeling or what's arriving, just being with what is. And that's helps with knowing that you're right here, this place, this time, staying respectful for yourself. This three remembering dedications, respect and gratitude. That's to help you to stay. And then the third step is that we stay a long time. So I use a timer. So we are already like about 5 minutes in it. And then we go to a dragonfly and half dragonfly, half butterfly. So I will show it in this way. So your leg, like my left leg is all the way out, the right leg is bent, and the heel is now more in the pubic bone. Try to move your knee really out. So, because I want to have a twist in this, and then reaching with the arm all the way forward. So, you can do it sideways, but I like to reach more forward. So, stretching more the side and the flank, and this muscle here, the latissimus muscle. If it's short, then it pulls the shoulders down, and that can be also giving some pain in the shoulder. So we need to have also their length. So reaching out, and then see if you can let go. So using maybe props to lean on, maybe something for under the knee if you need to, or under this knee, and then you stay again. So both sitting bones don't need to be on the floor, but just relaxing in it. And then first minute or so, it's just checking out if everything is fine. Maybe you move here and there still. And then there has to be a moment that you stay, that you commit, that you then only be the observer. And then just hanging on. And again, the target area, the side body, side stretch, but still also forward bend in maybe the neck area, but also included the hamstring, the inner legs. Because if we look more to the fascia system, it's not only one target area, not only one certain place in the body where we have the trouble that we have to work there. These fascia plates are long, connecting body parts with each other. So the whole backside is one big fascia plate. So stretching hamstrings can also help the whole back line. Like stretching the inner legs can help also the shoulders. Because the core myofascial line is also attached to the inner legs, and the core, the center, moves up to the chest and a little bit of the arm. But here, just hanging out in this deep stretch. And the breath is there to help you. Just breathing. And maybe you feel also with the arm reaching out that the rib cage is also more spreading. So we really create also space for the lungs. And just relaxing in your breath. There, the 5 minutes are over. So bringing your arm back, slowly, slowly coming out. Take your time in that. If you need more time than me, no problem. And then we do the other side. So you stretch the other leg, the right one, bending the left. Make sure the leg is really open so that we have to twist and ribs and opening the side flank area. Use your props for under your knees, left or right, maybe something up front, and then you twisting and you reach, and then you come down. And also there, take your time. You don't have to go right into the maximum. Just slowly softening, like melting down. And in a certain moment, you are to your maximum, which is relaxing. And if you cannot relax, then use the props. Where we focus on is to stretch at the side flank area, ribs, and this muscle on the side body, the latissimus dorsi. And then you just focus on the breath again. And being the observer. When I stay a little bit more silence, then you have more time to really being the observer in yourself. So let's have a little bit more silence. So really observe. No action, no reaction on it, just only observing, being with it, breathing with it. And slowly, slowly you rise up. The next posture will be a wrist stretch in a terra pose. So it's maybe nice to sit on a block or on a cushion. And then let's bend the right leg and stepping with the left a little bit forwards, like this, like how the Tara, the female Buddha, is sitting in meditation. But the hips, you can work on that too, to be a little bit more forwards and go a little bit more hanging in your hips grow area. But the target area will be the hands, the wrist, and stretching the tendons in the fingers. So what you do, you put your palms up, and then you come forwards, and then you put your fingers down, and then you slowly bring the weight into it till you feel a stretch. So if the forward bend is maybe too much, you can also use again a block. You are less deep in the forward bend in the hips. So another way to work more in the hips, if you like, you come all the way forwards and then moving your hands forwards and then or a little bit in between. You go a little bit in between. Good. And then you relaxing your shoulders, you let your head hanging down. Just breathing here. And in 2005, I went to India to go to Mysore to do Ashtanga, meet the guru. And I was like a little puppy yogi student and want to learn everything. So I went to other courses too. And also one guy was teaching Yin Yoga. So I went there too. And like it was amazing. The first class I did was very painful, but I felt a lot of freedom and after that the life force was flowing like wow. And then I start to experience also with my hands because I was a gymnast before when I was young, little, and then I broke my wrist, but they didn't find out that it was broken. So 1 year or so, I was doing everything with the broken wrist. So this bone was completely dead, so it's not growing anymore. Of course, when you stand all the time on your hands and of course I had pain, but when doctors in white jackets are telling you you have nothing, nothing is wrong, and you are in a important competition, you train, so then you do your thing, and then you think by yourself, okay, what I'm feeling now, it's no pain, so you go through the pain. But pain is also a warning that there's something going on, but I didn't listen. But then in the summer holidays, I was staying with my grandmother and I told that I still had pain. She said, oh, we go to the hospital. So we went there to the hospital. And then we found out that it was broken. And then I had a long period of time in the cast to let the bone grow, but it was not growing. So after maybe 2-3 months or so, then the doctors they say, oh, we need to operate. So I get a couple of operation, and at first my body was reacting, and so in total I had 4 operations, and then they put completely new bone from my pelvis into it. But then I lost mobility, so I could not stand on my hands anymore. So my dream going to the Olympic with gymnastics was over. So I accepted and I was teaching and I studied for like a kind of physical therapist. And then they tried one more time operation So the timer goes. So you slowly coming back. Just take your time. And here changing. So it's nice to sit on a cushion to change. And then you can come again forwards. So now we do the back side of the wrist. So now the palms are down. You let your arms, fingers just hanging down, and then you roll over the metatarsals. I always say it's like a orangutan, like this monkey, so that you feel the stretch over your wrist, maybe also into the arm. So to finishing my story, so the last operation was to mobilize, so going completely under anesthetic narcose. They move like, you can say, like a very young practice, moving the wrist in hoping that the mobility came back. And then after the operation, there was a little bit more mobility, but still I couldn't stand on my hands and not doing the gymnastic stuff. So the career of gymnast was over. And yeah, I just went, I accept, and I did other things in my life, and it was okay. And then I found yoga, and then I found Yin. And in India, I was doing Ashtanga yoga, and in the evenings, I was practicing Yin Yoga. And in between, I was already trying having some stretches with my wrist because uh, when we were doing Yin, we only focus on the Yin part of the body, the hips and the lower spine, not on the upper body because that's the yang part. But I was thinking maybe I can fix my wrist. And I think after 1 or 2 months, I could stand on my hands. So when had this young way of moving is not succeeded, the yin way was very helpful. So since then, I can do also all the arm balancing right and the downward dogs. And before I couldn't, and I can even walk on my hands again. So when we don't move it, the body is getting stiff, and areas where we see that is especially the shoulders, and then we call frozen shoulder. So what I can do with my wrist, you can do it with other joints. So also with your shoulders, and these stretches are very good for people who have maybe like me operation with the wrist or having a long time not moving, maybe tendons who are inflamed or stuff. But because the wrist is small bones, uh, especially this way when we're stretching, it's not designed to do and having full weight on it. So you have to be careful with this. Just having a little stretch. And this wrist stretch we used in the physical therapist to help the RSI problems, to help to have the fascia and muscles in a good condition back. And also what I noticed that when I have a headache and I do this, most of the times the headache is less or even goes away. And that's in my body. Maybe it's helping you too with headaches, but I cannot guarantee it 100%. But to help the blood circulation and chi, life force, in this area, the whole upper body start to flow more. And there's more flow in tissues, more hydration, everything is functioning better. So just a couple of breaths. And then to sit on the cushion again. Really take your time here, and probably it feels a little bit strange. Don't go stand on your hands right away. Maybe just slowly start to move your fingers, moving your wrist, and then slightly go from the cushion or the block and go sitting. So the next posture will be angel wings with butterfly, or butterfly with angel wings. But take your time. Maybe it feels strange. Costs a little bit time to bring uh, the sense back in the fascia. Good. So to prepare yourself for this posture, is you can have some support for your knees if you need that in butterfly. I need it on my left side. It's a little bit sensitive, so I use there the block. So I put it already there. I will show what it is with the angel wings. So you bring your arms to shoulder height, you turn the thumbs down, palms are watching backwards and bending. My left shoulder is still stiffer than the right because I had these operations. So still I have to do more yin on the left, but then that's why I put it down and then the right on top. So now you can see it. So palms are watching backwards. They overlap each other. If you're here or here, that's fine too. But I want to have a deep stretch because my left shoulder is still a little bit stiffer than the right. So then I bring my right up. And when you go lying down, it's nice to have your legs straight and then slowly going down over it. If this is too much, you can put your cushion under your head. And then you bring the legs in butterfly. In the beginning, the spine will react because there is something under it. So the muscles start to maybe contract. So try to relax, try to melting down over your hands, and the hands will be maybe also tense up. Try also to relaxing your fingers, relaxing your full hand, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing the whole body. And the breath is soft in the belly. Just relax and get softer and softer. So the target area is the shoulders. So if the hips are too much, too intense, just stretch your legs. When the shoulders are very stiff, bring some cushions under your head that there is less weight on your shoulders. And when you start to feel a sharp pain in the elbows, that's meaning that you are too deep. So then bring your hands more lowered into the lower spine, or even bring your hands next to you. And try to relax the lower spine. Just a normal hollowing. And to relax your face. And here let's have a little more silence again. To be the observer. To learn to be with what is. Not going right into a action or reaction to it. Just be calm. Just knowing, okay, this is what I feel. That's okay. And that's already the timer. So slowly, slowly coming up. Like the timer is set on 5 minutes. So probably to come in and come out costs a little bit time. So then we are probably for sure 3.5 minutes in it. And that's the right amount what we minimum need. So now ending with the twist. So I like to have my legs crossed, my right over left, and then twisting to the left side, and then stretching my right arm wide open so you feel a real opening by your chest, your head, maybe looking over your right shoulder. And it's up to you where you want to have your hips. Maybe you want the hips a little bit more into the center to go twisting more. But it doesn't matter. See what you like. And then you just have your left hand where you like, maybe on your belly, maybe on your hip or knee. And then let's come again into this being what is. No action, no reaction, just observing. And then slowly Bringing your arm back, turning back. Take your time in that. Maybe you need to rest a little bit or doing something. Knees to your chest. I like to go right into the other side. So I put my hips to the center of the mat and then twisting over to the right. Stretching my left arm right open that I feel really good opening by your chest area. Again, have very good for long. Like also the stretch what we did in the beginning, opening the rib cage. I didn't spoke about the meridians, so I had the two important meridians in this time of year. The year of the GoFit is the long meridian, long and large intestines, and of course also heart and small intestines. So with all the wrist stretches, arm, shoulder stretches, it's helping the flow and these meridians to have a good hydration, so energy, the chi can flow, life force can flow good in that system and helping the organs to functioning better. So this class will help you to stimulating the chi flow in the lung. And also laterally to creating more space for the lungs with opening the chest and shoulder area, helping also the flow of life force. And I like to stand on my hands still. When I was young, I think I was born and was maybe walking earlier on my hands than my feet. That's not true, but almost. Still, I like to stand on my hands because standing and working with your hands activate also the heart energy. And the quality of heart, everybody knows, I think, love, unconditional love, compassion, but also happiness and joy, especially joy. So, doing with our hands, a lot of people get a lot of joy. It's making something or baking something or doing or, but also have arm balancings are really helping to cultivate more this feeling of joy. And also, this class would focus on the hands and arms and shoulders. Will give maybe also a feeling of kind of joy, kind of inner peace. That's also a quality of the chi of the heart. And it's flowing good when there's a good circulation of chi and blood. We are more connect with this inner peace. Connect with joy and happiness, compassion, unconditional love, to have the right relationships, and to start with yourself. That's most of the times when heart energy is maybe out of balance. We just focus on love outer ourselves, longing for love for somebody else. Somebody else is loving us, that we have somebody who also love and giving love back. But when we go in and having this right relationship with yourself, is much more peace. Much more peace in every relationship you have with yourself and others, romance, but also just relationship in your job, relationship with nature, with your environment, with neighbors, your pet, everything. Start to come in yourself. So the timer went. So slowly, slowly coming out. Turning back, bring your arms just by your side and take here the rebound. Coming in neutral, like doing nothing, just lying down. Every joint in a neutral position. Maybe you want to have a blanket over you. Just notice the sensations. Just becoming this chi flow. Feeling, experience this inner peace. And after a nice yin session, I feel like bubbling, tinkling sensations in my body. I see that as like bubbles of joy. So like yourself sinking in these bubbles of joy. So you can stay as long as you like, and maybe you have time to do that, just to lie down longer in Savasana. But I need to go do stuff with my hands. So bending your knees and roll to your side. And coming to sitting, then we close the class, but you can also close your laptop or your iPhone and just lie down a little bit longer. Bringing your hands together. And bring the hands in front of the forehead like a witness for a peaceful mind, a wisdom mind. Then bring the hands in front of the heart, a witness for open heart. Open heart with compassion, unconditional love for yourself and others. And experience these bubbles of joy and happiness through your day. And then bring your hands in front of the belly, a witness to ground into your authentic self. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you have a beautiful day. And don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, and see you next week. Bye bye.